Welcome into West Fargo High School girls varsity soccer here tonight versus Shanley. Welcome also to Essentia Health Packer Stadium. If you're just joining us, we just wrapped up our JV game about 20 minutes ago, and the final score for that game was 10 to nothing Shanley. Um, One thing I will say about that team is, though that was the final score, that West Fargo team has the most heart um, ever that I've ever seen of a team. It almost reminds me of the uh, We Believe Warriors. No matter what, those that team, they always have their head up. They're always making sure they're smiling and going through and playing that game till the end of the game, and that's such a great thing to see. So it's good to see that. The varsity team, though, hoping to improve to 4-0 on the season after beating Fargo South to start the season and then beating both Grand Forks Central and Grand Forks Red River to advance to 3-0, and hoping to here tonight against Shanley move to a 4-0 record to start their season.
their respective teams and to support their teams in a sportsmanlike manner throughout the contest. Participants are asked to be positive role models at all times and to remember that you represent your school and your community by your actions. Please help us be number one in good sportsmanship. In accordance with the North Dakota High School Activities Association expectations and for the safety of players, coaches, and officials, we ask that no one other than authorized personnel access the playing field during halftime and after the game. Good luck to both teams. Introducing first our visitors, the Shanley Beacons. A junior number 4, Elsa Wambach. Sophomore number 5, Ella Frisk. A senior number 7, Lydia Mattern. Sophomore number 12, Shayna Roach. Sophomore number 18, Aubrey Dew. A freshman number 20, Maya Metzger. Sophomore number 21, Haley Von Bank. A junior number 22, Madison Ehlers. Junior number 26, Emily Schirma. And the junior number 99, Paige McAllister. At forward number 6, Alyssa Smith. Also at forward number 7, Alina Batari. A forward number 11, Hayden Crockett. Midfielder number 16, Hannah Shern. Forward number 20, Maggie Svetzig. On defense, number 21, Chloe Bow. Forward number 22, Mariley Simon. And on defense, number 23, Jordan Sunram. The Packers are coached by head coach George Gall. He's assisted by James Moe, Adam Haskins, Chelsea Klein, Brianna Kula, and Eva Fitz. The officials for today's game are registered by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and have been selected for their demonstrated ability. The officials tonight are Jesse Rise, Kamal Savanovich, and Zijad Ripak. We ask for your support in assisting our game officials in a respectful manner. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise, remove any headwear, and stand at attention as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
throw in, and West Fargo takes control. Shanley gets a steal. Amber Pyle with a save at the goal, so it heads back the other way.
Saved by Amber Pyle.
She'll punt it down the field. West Fargo takes control, and it goes out of bounds by Shanley's benches. They'll throw it in here now. Shanley in control, trying to get somewhere down near the goal. West Fargo, good defense, and it'll go out of bounds, so it's Shanley's ball. And penalty called there, change of possession here now. It'll be Shanley. Ball kicked straight at the goal, almost went in there, but saved there kind of by Amber Pyle as it was heading towards the goal. Shanley takes back possession, and it's heading the other way. West Fargo gains control. Shanley almost gets somewhere. They take control, and it looks like gonna be a shot in the goal, but it's no good there. West Fargo takes control, heading down the field, and a kick by Riley Simon, trying to get past to Maddie Zeitzwig, but instead it just goes straight to Shanley's goalie, and they throw it back over. And it goes out of bounds on the touchline right by West Fargo's benches on Shanley. So West Fargo will throw it in. And Shanley does take back control, heading back the other way. Chloe Fowl trying to get somewhere and get it back down the field to her other teammates. And they'll end up kicking it out. It's Shanley's ball. Kicked out after trying to get back towards a teammate for a little bit of a regain of control, and it's kicked out there again by Chloe Fowl. And now Shanley will make a substitution here as they set up ready for another throw-in right in front of West Fargo's benches.
Lindsay Astrup in for Fargo Shanley.
West Fargo trying to regain control. Looks like they do before it heads out of bounds again. It'll be Shanley's ball right in front of West Fargo's benches again. West Fargo trying to move the ball down the field, but Shanley just keeping consistent pressure right at that area right in front of the benches, constantly making West Fargo have to kick the ball out of bounds rather than getting it down the field and start moving. And now here we go. Now West Fargo breaks out and kicked down the field by Hayden Crockett going for Matty Zetzwig, and it looks like it's no good there for the Shanley ball here. And they'll try and set up their offense coming down the field. West Fargo tried to gain possession there, but instead it goes out of bounds. It'll be Shanley's ball right around midfield. And it goes out again on West Fargo, so it'll be Shanley's ball now again for another throw-in just past midfield on the other side by West Fargo's goal. Shanley throws it in and trying to get somewhere, passing it around. And a steal, but regains possession from Shanley. Another steal. West Fargo has possession now. They're heading back down the field, and it looks like Shanley's going to take control. West Fargo regains control. West Fargo still with the ball. And a strong kick down the field, trying to pass to a teammate. Instead, it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be Shanley's ball for a throw-in right around the corner arc. West Fargo with a strong kick down the field, trying to possibly go for the goal there for Emily Larson, but instead it just goes through the goal post. Shanley with possession now. They'll try and get it down the field here and bring it back to the other side where they were really keeping pressure and consistently keeping West Fargo down there. Now West Fargo trying to do the same thing as they were doing earlier. And it seems to be working in some sort of ways. So Shanley has to try and get out of this. West Fargo has to try and keep this defense up and keep them over here and possibly score a goal to take the lead here at the start of this game. And it goes out again, so it'll be West Fargo ball. Chloe Fowl with throw in to Mariley Simon. West Fargo trying to get somewhere, and it's kicked out again. This time it'll be kicked out again on Shanley, so it'll be West Fargo ball. Kicked out again, this time kicked out by Mariley Simon after constant pressure from 3 Shanley defenders. And she had to kick it out, so it'll be Shanley ball. And West Fargo then takes possession. Shanley trying to get it back down the field. West Fargo keeping consistent pressure and constantly getting steals, and a shot there on the goal. And just a pick up by Shanley's goalie. Emily Larson trying to get it back over to her teammates, and Shanley will instead take a steal. They'll head back the other way, right over center field. Shanley trying to pass the ball around, and a kick there, and that's going to be nothing. Amber Pyle with the boot across field. Shanley tries to gain possession, but instead it'll just go out of bounds by Shanley's benches. It'll be West Fargo ball as they throw it in. And again, it will go out of bounds over near Shanley's benches. So they'll throw it in again here, and West Fargo will hope to try and get a steal and move the other way as they're kind of in a good spot. Again, change of possession, West Fargo ball now as it's thrown out again here after the throw-in from the strong winds that we're having. Just kind of went the wrong way. Strong kick from Emily Larson down the field, and it looks like the ball is still in play. West Fargo trying to grab possession. Hayden Crockett tries to go for it. Instead, it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be Shanley's ball here as they'll kick it in to make sure that they try and get somewhere. West Fargo making a substitution. Maddie Zwitzig comes out. Abby Smith comes in. Shanley with a strong kick, but instead it'll go out of bounds over the touchline by Shanley's benches. West Fargo throws it in, and Shanley takes possession. Shanley trying to pass it around. Emily Larson gets a takeaway, and it's back to West Fargo possession. Hayden Crockett going down the field for West Fargo, and almost a goal there, but instead it's just going to go straight into Shanley's goalie's hands, and she almost drops it, so almost a possibility for a goal, but she picks it up in time right before West Fargo gets there. Shanley coming back down the field. Chloe Fowl with a large kick down the field. Shanley trying to regain the ball, and Hayden Crockett almost gets a good kick off. Instead, it's blocked by Shanley defenders, and it goes out again, so this time it'll be Shanley ball here. West Fargo now takes possession. They'll get it around, pass it some, and Shanley gets a steal here, and it'll actually stay in play. The ball is still in play. Shanley coming down the field. Good kick. Passing, trying to pass the ball around to make sure that they don't get it stolen as easily. Big kick down the field and recovered by Chloe Fowl of West Fargo. And again, it's taken away by Shanley going back the other way. Hayden Crockett with a steal, and the ball is still in play. Riley Simon comes up to pick it up. Taylor Van Winkle heading down the field, and the ball heading towards the goal area, and Shanley's goalie will pick it up. West Fargo takes possession after Shanley kicks it in, and it'll now be a stop right here. Shanley trying to get it back to bring it their way, and instead it hits the referee, and Shanley ball though. Shanley going down the field, a big trip there, and that'll be a kick for Shanley. And a goal there after the wind brings it to the side. West Fargo got a little confused after the ball kind of got lost in a bunch of people, a group of like 4 or 5 people. And so now the score will be 1-0 for Shanley. West Fargo
Third
now
man
has
is
the ball.
overscored by number 4, Elsa Wambach. Now in for the Deacons, number 8.
And the ball will go out of bounds. It's going to be Shanley's ball here. They'll throw it in. And again, hit out of bounds here, this time by Shanley. So it'll be West Fargo ball. Chloe Fowl going to throw the ball in. And again, out of bounds. So now it'll be West Fargo ball again, as it does go out on Shanley. And then it does go out again, and this time it'll be Shanley ball, as it's hit out by Riley Simon. Shanley has possession here. They'll try and bring it down the field, but it's stolen by West Fargo, going back the other way now. And almost a trip up there. Shanley takes possession. They'll try and bring it back the other way. West Fargo does get another steal, and the ball is still in play as Shanley takes it back. And now that's going to be a change of possession. Shanley is going to be throwing it in from over by their benches. West Fargo gains possession. Shanley trying to gain it back after the steal. Shanley does get it back. They're heading back down the field. And West Fargo kicks it back the other way. Shanley does gain possession though. Ball is still in play. Kicked out of bounds there by Chloe Fowl, and it'll be, kicked out of bounds by Shanley. It'll be change possession. Jordan Sunram will kick it in. Shanley does take the ball off a steal. West Fargo does get it back though. They move it back the other way, almost headed back towards the goal again on West Fargo's side. And now West Fargo will come back the other way, hoping to try and tie this game up 1-1 with a goal. And that's going to be a stoppage of play there, so that's going to flip possession, and Shanley will now have the ball. West Fargo regains possession. Abby Smith over to Hayden Crockett. Hayden Crockett trying to dribble around Shanley defender, and instead she passes it back over to Alyssa Smith, and Smith gets tied up. And the ball is stolen by Shanley. Shanley heading back the other way. Smith does regain the ball though, and now it looks like she's going to kick it back over, and Shanley does get a steal off that as it goes over. Taylor Van Winkle up the field. Shanley back the other way. Riley Simon coming in there and trying to grab it, and she does. She kicks it back the other way. Shanley does have the ball right now. West Fargo trying to do something to hopefully tie this game up 1-1. Riley Simon trying to kick it downfield, gets hit by a Shanley defender. Alyssa Smith tries to get in there. Emily Larson tries to get a steal as well. It's Shanley ball, and Jordan Sunram will kick it back the other way. Shanley does kick it out of bounds though, so now it'll be West Fargo ball over by the middle flag post at center field. And Maddie Zetzwig comes in for the Packers, and Hayden Crockett comes out. And they're trying, it looks like here, to figure out the time on different things, as it looks like there's some confusion with that. And it looks like everything's okay now. Chloe Fowl will throw it in for West Fargo. Maddie Zwetzig tries to get it, and Shanley gets a steal. Emily Larson back the other way. She kicks it over to Abby Smith. Abby Smith trying to get around Shanley defender. And penalty there, as Jordan Sunram will now kick for West Fargo, trying to tie this game up with a score of 1-1. And Shanley kicks it back the other way. Chloe Fowl with a big kick down the field, and just a little bit off and to the left, it'll go out of bounds. So it'll be Shanley ball now kicking in. And now coming in for West Fargo is JD Ogier, and coming out is Alina Batari. Shanley has possession. West Fargo does regain it, though. Shanley does get another steal. They're heading back the other way. And West Fargo really trying to get that defense going and get steals and really try and bring it back to the other side of the field where they belong and try and score some goals. Shanley does gain possession. Riley Simon with the steal. She kicks it downfield, heading for Shanley's goal, and it'll be picked up, and it'll now be Shanley's ball. Chloe Fowl kicks it back for West Fargo. Abby Smith with a pass, trying to get it over to Maddie Zwetzig, but instead there's a Shanley defender there, picks it up, and it's going back the other way. Shanley trying to come back down the field, and instead it'll go backwards after a miss, and it'll go out of bounds. West Fargo will throw it in. Shanley regains possession. West Fargo does get another steal, though, here. They're heading back the other way, and Shanley gets another steal. And then the ball will go out of bounds at the touchline by Shanley's benches, and it'll be Shanley ball. And West Fargo will take possession. Shanley does gain it back, though, and it's going back the other way. Shanley heading down the field. West Fargo does get a steal, though. Hayden Crockett. And Maddie Zwetzig tries to get it, stops it, and brings it back around over Shanley defenders. Tries to go to Abby Smith, but instead just a little off on that kick, and it'll go past her and over to the Shanley goalie, where she'll throw it back in for Shanley's possession. Shanley with the ball, coming down their side of the field, and it'll go back the other way. Shanley does regain possession again, though, goes back the other way. And then Shanley trying to just break around West Fargo's defense, as Riley Simon tries to get a steal, but instead it'll go out of bounds. It'll be Shanley ball right in front of their benches again. Shanley with possession now. They'll try and set up their offense, try and get around West Fargo's defense and get down the field to score another goal to make it 2-0. West Fargo wants to try and see if they can actually just get around Shanley's defense and try and just score at least one goal to tie this game up. As Maddie Zwetzig passes over to JD Ogier, and it looks like it'll go out of bounds there on West Fargo.
Back in for Shanley. Also returning Lydia Mattern.
And so it'll be Shanley's ball here to throw in. And just over the head of Shanley defenders, and Chloe Fowl grabs the ball off of that, and she kicks it towards the goal. Instead, it'll go out of bounds. And now it'll be Shanley's ball. Shanley with possession. They pass it backwards, trying to get it moving around and get around West Fargo's defense. Instead, it almost goes out of bounds, but then it's passed back the other way, and then it goes out of bounds off of West Fargo. Shanley with possession as they throw it in. It goes back the other way. West Fargo gains possession. Emily Larson with the steal, and Shanley gains it back. Mariley Simon trying to get it back the other way. Shanley does grab it, though, off the pass, trying to go to Maddie Zwetzig. Emily Larson again with another steal. And Taylor Van Winkle trying to get around Shanley defender, and ball will go out of bounds now. It'll be Shanley's ball right over by their benches again. And they'll throw it in here. Shanley does grab possession, but it'll go out of bounds on West Fargo, it looks like. So now it's going to be Shanley's ball again. And Shanley almost had to go back out of bounds there on that throw-in, but instead Shanley gets around West Fargo's defense and moves it back around. West Fargo trying to get a steal. Emily Larson does get one, but it goes back over to Shanley's possession as defenders are right there. And Shanley coming down the field, trying to get around West Fargo's defense, and then West Fargo will hit it out of bounds, so it'll be Shanley ball. And now coming in for West Fargo, Abby Smith comes out. Hayden Crockett comes into the game. Mariley Simon comes out, and Rachel Knutson comes into the game. West Fargo throws the ball in, and it's going to be Emily Larson trying to get it around. Chloe Fowl over to Hayden Crockett, but Shanley gets a steal. Emily Larson tries to get it around. Taylor Van Winkle with the pass down the field towards Maddie Zetzig, but instead it's broken up by Shanley defenders. West Fargo again gets another steal, and Shanley goes back the other way. West Fargo gets it, and Shanley goes back again. West Fargo with a boot down the field after Shanley was heading right towards the goal. And Shanley will gain possession, but it does go out of bounds, so it's going to be West Fargo's ball just around center field. Chloe Fowl will be throwing it in. And it almost goes out of bounds, but it won't, and Hayden Crockett tries to go back down for the ball. Shanley pressuring with defense, and they do get a steal, but they're trying to get it around, and it'll go out of bounds, so it'll be West Fargo's ball now. Chloe Fowl throwing it in. Over to Shanley defender. Emily Larson grabs it up again, and that time it'll go again out of bounds. So now it'll be Shanley's ball as they'll kick it in. And coming out of the game now is JD Ogier, and coming into the game is Janessa Padel. And it goes out of bounds, so it'll be West Fargo ball now. Taylor Van Winkle throwing it in. Maddie Zwetzig trying to get somewhere with it. Hayden Crockett has possession, and she'll pass it over to Alyssa Smith, who tries to get a strong kick, but it's blocked by Shanley defenders, and that will be Shanley's ball, but they'll kick it out of bounds, so it'll be West Fargo ball. Chloe Fowl will throw it in from just around center field. And Shanley does take possession off that, but West Fargo gains it back. And back the other way, it's Shanley's ball now. West Fargo again gets it back after a strong defensive effort there. And Alyssa Smith tries to kick it down the field with a strong kick, but instead it's blocked by Shanley defenders, and it'll go back the other way. West Fargo throws it in, and Shanley trying to get some sort of defensive possession and get it back the other way. Instead, he'll kick it out of bounds there. And and Shanley will then take possession off of that, but it'll go back to West Fargo as they get a steal, and Alyssa Smith tries to kick it down the field again with a strong kick, and instead it's going to be blocked again by Shanley defenders. And a strong pass, and Emily Larson with the ball. She'll pass it over to Maddie Zwetzeg. Zwetzeg going for the goal, and almost there, blocked by two Shanley defenders and the goalie as she drives right for it, but no dice after attempting that one. But a strong effort there, and Shanley will have possession back the other way. And Shanley will kick it down the field. Jordan Sunram will take possession from West Fargo and goes back the other way. She'll pass it over to Hayden Crockett, who tries to get around Shanley's defender, and instead it'll go right at center field. It'll be Shanley's ball now to throw it in. Coming out of the game now for West Fargo, Alyssa Smith, and coming into the game is Riley Simon.
Vanessa Bird back in for the Deacons. Riley Simon for the pass.
Shanley throws it in, and West Fargo will use their defense and try and get a possession out of that, but instead it'll actually go out of bounds. Shanley again with the ball, they'll throw it in. Just a little bit of a mix-up there, but Shanley does regain possession. It'll go back the other way, but West Fargo does get a steal, and Shanley still has possession now again. They'll pass it around, trying to make sure they get closer to the goal before taking a shot, and West Fargo will kick it back the other way before it's Hayden Crockett trying to get down the field, and Emily Larson with a strong kick down the field. Shanley gets it back, and they're heading the other way now. Emily Larson again with another steal. She kicks it over to Janessa Padel. And almost out of bounds there, but just barely inside. And Shanley will now have possession, going back the other way. And Taylor Van Winkle trying to get a steal there, just missed. And now it'll go back the other way as Shanley just messes up just a little bit there. Maddie Zetzig over to Riley Simon. And Riley Simon with a strong kick down the field, trying to go for Hayden Crockett. Instead, it'll be straight for the goalie of Shanley, and it'll go back the other way. Shanley with possession almost goes out of bounds there, but it doesn't. And that'll go out of bounds yet again by Shanley. Coming out for West Fargo is Janessa Padel. Coming in is number 14, Abby Smith. Shanley will be throwing it in from right in front of their benches. And they'll take possession. West Fargo gets a steal Chloe Fow down to Maddie Zotzig, but Shanley gets the stop. Jordan Sunran down the field yet again. Hayden Crockett heading for the ball as Jordan Sunran kicks it down, but instead it'll be Shanley who tries to pass it around to get back down to the other side of the field after a steal, but instead it'll actually go out of bounds on Shanley, so it'll be West Fargo balls right in front of Shanley's benches. And the ball will stay in play. Shanley with possession. They'll head back down the field. And a strong pass and almost stolen by West Fargo, but Shanley will keep possession. They'll head back down the field. And then with a strong pass again, Shanley will keep possession again. West Fargo trying to use their defense well set, and almost something there, but instead picked up by Amber Pyle back the other way. West Fargo trying to pass it around, get it down the field, and Shanley will take possession. Shanley heading down the field, stolen by Emily Larson, and Looks like a little bit of shoving there, and instead now it will be Shanley's ball. Or, excuse me, it will be West Fargo kicking it forward. Hayden Crockett receives the pass, and Shanley will then try and take a steal, but they won't get it, and it'll be taken then by Shanley, and the ball will go out of bounds. Shanley throwing it in, trying to get something going here for a 2-0 score. West Fargo trying to tie it up at 1-1 before the half here. And West Fargo gets another steal, heading back the other way. Strong kick down the field by Taylor Van Winkle, but instead it'll just head straight for Shanley's goalie and back the other way now. West Fargo does get the ball back. Emily Larson heading towards the goal, and she'll try and take a strong kick at the goal, but instead it's blocked. Shanley defender standing right in front of her. And now coming into the game for West Fargo, number 6, Alyssa Smith coming out of the game, number 20, Maddie Zwetzig.
Alyssa Smith returning for West Fargo.
Throw in by Taylor Van Winkle, and West Fargo has possession. Hayden Crockett trying to get around Shanley defenders, and Shanley got a steal, and they'll kick it back out of bounds. So West Fargo will throw it in again. Riley Simon takes the pass there, and Taylor Van Winkle tries to kick it forward, but instead it's hit. And now another change of possession will be Shanley's ball. Shanley with possession. West Fargo, though, really strong defensive tactics here as they're trying to get a steal. And it'll be kicked out of bounds, and it will be Shanley's ball, though, as it goes out on West Fargo. Shanley off the inbound. West Fargo tries to get a steal, but it's blocked, and Shanley went the other way. Now it comes back to West Fargo. Alyssa Smith trying to get around, and Abby Smith will get the pass from Alyssa Smith. And then it will go out of bounds on Shanley. Chloe Fowl throwing it in from West Fargo's benches. And another throw in for Chloe Fowl. Back the other way, West Fargo ball. Alyssa Smith running down the field. And almost a goal there from just at the edge of the end line, but instead it's going to be caught by Shanley's goalie. Back the other way, Shanley trying to gain possession after the kick in, and West Fargo will take it. Rachel Knutson trying to get around Shanley defenders and tries to pass over to Riley Simon before it's stolen after Shanley gets in the way. Shanley coming back down the field. And there we go. That will be the first half for this game. And currently the score, Shanley leads with a score of 1, West Fargo with a score of 0.
I'm Amber Pyle. I'm a freshman and I play goalie.
My name's Eva Fitz. I'm a senior and I am the head coach.
Hi, my name is Savita and I'm a junior and I play mid.
I'm Taylor Van Winkle. I'm a sophomore and I play midfield.
Hi, my name is Emily Larson. I'm a senior and I'm in midfield.
I'm Melissa Smith. I'm a freshman and I play forward.
Hi, I'm Melina. I'm a sophomore and I play forward.
I'm Addison Smith. I'm a freshman and I play midfield. My name is Janessa Padel. I'm a junior and I'm a right winger.
Hi, I'm Jenna Ozier and I'm an 8th grader and I play defense.
Hi, I'm Hayden Crockett. I'm an 8th grader and I play forward.
My name is Savika and I'm a freshman and I play defense.
Hello, I am Anna Leopard. I am a junior this year and I play defense and midfield.
Hi, I'm Abigail Smith. I'm a junior and I play forward.
Hi, I'm Jade Yozier. I'm a sophomore and I play midfield.
Hi, I'm Hannah Sharon. I'm a freshman and I'm a defender.
I'm Rachel Knutson. I'm a sophomore and I play defense.
Hi, I'm Genevieve Fredericks. I'm a sophomore and I play defense.
Hi, my name is Foster Gubachai. I'm a sophomore and I play defense.
Hi, my name is Madison Zwetzig. I'm an 11th grader and I play forward.
I'm Chloe Fow. I'm in 10th grade and I play center back.
I'm Riley Simon. I'm a sophomore and I play midfield.
My name's Jordan Sunram. I'm a junior and I play defense.
My name is Kylie Mason. I'm in 9th grade and I'm a defender.
And here we go now to start the second half of this game between West Fargo High School and the Shanley Deacons. To start out this half, West Fargo will have the following on the field: Amber Pyle in the goal, Emily Larson, Taylor Van Winkle, Alina Batari, Mariley Simon, Maddie Zwetzig, Hayden Crockett, Alyssa Smith, Chloe Fow, and Jordan Sunram, along with Hannah Shern is West Fargo's lineup. West Fargo with a strong kick down the field to start this half, and it'll end up going out of bounds on West Fargo, and Shanley will be throwing it in from West Fargo's benches. Mariley Simon trying to get the ball after Taylor Van Winkle hits it up into the air. Maddie Zwetzig passes it over to Hayden Crockett. Alyssa Smith over to Hayden Crockett as well, but instead it'll go back the other way as Shanley gets a steal. Shanley trying to pass it back around, and they pass it backwards, which is never a good sign. Back the other way, and it'll go out of bounds. It'll be West Fargo's ball for a throw-in. Chloe Fow throwing it in again. And West Fargo trying to get back around toward the goal. Hayden Crockett over to Mariley Simon, but it's broken up by Shanley defenders. It'll be picked up by Shanley's goalie. Back the other way. Strong kick down the field. Hannah Shern trying to get it back around the other way, and Shanley will have possession now. They'll take a shot at the goal and back the other way. And Shanley going backwards, trying to pass the ball around as West Fargo tries to get a steal here and go back the other way to hopefully tie this game up 1-1. Shanley trying to look at going up 2-0 and putting West Fargo down to hopefully end this game for them and give them their first loss. But West Fargo looking to try and keep their hopes alive and go to a 4-0 start to the season. Amber Pyle hands it in to Chloe Fow before it will go out of bounds on West Fargo. Shanley will be throwing it in, and it's stolen by Alina Batari. Alyssa Smith trying to get the ball back, and Shanley gains possession. A big kick down the field from Shanley, and instead it'll go out of bounds, and it'll be West Fargo's ball. Amber Pyle with a kick into the field, and Shanley will gain possession off that. Alyssa Smith steals the ball back for West Fargo. Shanley does gain possession back again. Chloe Fow with another save back the other way for West Fargo. West Fargo down the field. Alina Batari passes over, tries to get it over to Hayden Crockett, but instead it's broken up. Alyssa Smith grabs it from Shanley defenders. She'll try and pass it down the field. Broken up again. Shanley with the ball now. They'll head back down the field trying to set up their offense and hopefully get around West Fargo's defense. Strong kick at the goal. Amber Pyle picks it back up and goes back the other way. She'll throw it into Alina Batari. Alina Batari will go down the field towards Shanley's sideline. She'll kick it down the field towards Hayden Crockett. Hayden Crockett tries to pass it over, and she does. She passes it over to Maddie Zwetzig. Zwetzig back the other way, and it looks like there's going to be a penalty, so it'll be a change of possession. Shanley will now take the ball. And Shanley looking for a strong kick down the field. Instead, they just go for a conservative one. Back the other way, Hayden Crockett gets a steal. She passes it. She actually keeps it, and she goes straight at the goal. And it's a goal. West Fargo now ties it up at 1. And and she will get that goal. And West Fargo, as I said, will tie it up now.
Goal scored by number 11, Hayden Crockett. That ties the game at 1.
That is her first goal of the season. Shanley will now take possession at midfield. Back the other way, Hayden Crockett with another steal, passes over to Maddie Zetzig. Shanley does gain possession again, though. They're back the other way, heading down the field. Strong kick down the field. Shanley in the open field, but Jordan Sunram tries to go for it and gets it away. And instead, it'll just go out of bounds now. And it'll be West Fargo ball at the back of the goalies. Of the goal line, excuse me, and Amber Pyle will be kicking it in now for West Fargo. Strong kick in over to Alina Batari. Batari tries to use her head to get it over. Instead, it's just over her head by a little bit. Instead, it'll go, Shanley will kick it over, and it'll go out on West Fargo. Shanley with the ball, throws it in, and a steal by West Fargo. West Fargo back the other way. Shanley again with another steal. They're trying to set up their offense and get around West Fargo's defense and put it up 2-1 after the score. Riley Simon gets around Shanley defenders, kicks it down the field with a strong boot. Maddie Zwetzig down the field, trying to get around Shanley defenders, but instead she's tripped, and there's a call for that. So now it will be West Fargo for a kick. Jordan Sunram will be kicking it for West Fargo. Strong kick down the field, and Shanley will block it. Shanley back the other way, but Alyssa Smith saves it back the other way. West Fargo has possession. Riley Simon passes over to Hayden Crockett. Hayden Crockett gets tripped up by some Shanley defenders. Riley Simon with a strong kick. Instead, it's hit against Shanley defenders. Again, Riley Simon tries to get the ball back. Shanley does get a steal. Alina Batari passes over. Instead, blocked by Shanley defenders back the other way. Shanley going down the field. Strong pass down the field. And Hannah Shern will block it, but she's also tripped up. No call there. And strong kick at one of Shanley's teammates to try and go and set up for a goal right in the goal area, but instead it'll just be out of bounds goalie kick for West Fargo. Shanley grabs possession, and Taylor Van Winkle tries to pass over to Emily Larson, but instead it's broken up. Shanley has possession, and they're in a good place to try and score from where they are if they can set up their offense and get around West Fargo's defense. And Emily Larson gets it back down the field towards Hayden Crockett, and it'll be taken up by Shanley. Shanley back the other way, trying to head over and set up its offense and get its score of 2-1 to lead this game. Shanley again with another kick, blocked by Chloe Fow, and that will go out of bounds. And now a corner kick here for Shanley. Strong kick in, and it almost goes into the goal, and a trip up between two West Fargo players. Looks like Amber Pyle and Riley Simon got a trip up, and looks like they're okay, but almost a goal there. Luckily nothing for West Fargo. No injuries, nothing like that, so everything's good. And West Fargo will now kick it in for their possession. Strong kick down the field, just over Shanley's head. Alina Batari with a strong kick, and no good. Goes out of bounds there. And Shanley will have possession as they throw it in from right around their benches. Chloe Fow tries to get a steal, and she does, but it does end up going out of bounds, so that'll be Shanley's ball as they look for somewhere to throw it into. Almost stolen again, and it does end up being stolen, and it goes the other way for possession as it's kicked out of bounds. Or it stays with possession with Shanley as it's kicked out of bounds, by West Fargo. West Fargo trying to set something up and get back down the field. Shanley with a strong kick at the goal, and Amber Pyle with the save, and then she trips, and it's blocked again by West Fargo. West Fargo tries to get possession, but instead Shanley will steal it. They're heading back the other way. And a strong kick, and it'll actually end up going out of bounds here yet again. Coming out of the game for West Fargo, Alina Batari, number 7. Coming into the game, number 17, Rachel Knudsen.
Rachel Knudsen back in for West Fargo.
Shanley has possession right now, trying to get around West Fargo's defense. And a trip up there, and a call for that. So it'll be Shanley with a kick. Strong kick towards the goal. Amber Pyle with the block for it, the save, and back the other way as Chloe Fow picks it up, and it goes the other way. Shanley trying to grab a steal here. They'll kick it back at the goal again with another attempt. Amber Pyle again will pick it up right from there, and it'll go back the other way. West Fargo now has possession as they look to pass it in. Emily Larson with a strong kick over to Rachel Knudsen. And she's hit in the face by the ball as Shanley tries to get it around her. And Shanley trying to pass it around, and Jordan Sunram trying to do something. Rachel Knudsen with a steal. She kicks it over to Mariley Simon. Simon over, and it's blocked by Shanley defenders before it goes out of bounds yet again after another attempt on the goal by Shanley. Amber Pyle looking to kick it in for West Fargo, and she will, and it'll be a strong kick down the field. And it'll be actually stolen by Shanley. Chloe Fow takes it back again. West Fargo does have possession now again. Shanley does take it back again. Hayden Crockett blocks it and takes it back for West Fargo. Shanley again with possession. They'll head back the other way. And Taylor Van Winkle trying to make a steal, and almost out of bounds there on Shanley, and instead it'll actually go out of bounds on Taylor Van Winkle for West Fargo, and it'll be Shanley ball after she tries to kick it back out to her teammates. Pass in by Shanley, and it'll be blocked by Mariley Simon. Uses her head to get it back down the other way to Hayden Crockett before it's stolen by Shanley. West Fargo with the ball. Rachel Knudsen passing over Mariley Simon. And she passes over to Hayden Crockett before it's taken by Shanley. Taylor Van Winkle tries to get it back down the field, but Shanley takes pressure and puts the ball back the other way. Riley Simon gets a steal and tries to pass it down the field towards Hayden Crockett, and it is stolen by Shanley before kicked for tries to take attempt for a large kick down the field, and called for a handball on West Fargo on Hayden Crockett. Emily Larson will take possession of the ball after that with a quick grab after Shanley's kick, and Alyssa Smith will block it as Shanley does take back possession. Hannah Shern kicks it over to Riley Simon. Simon kicks it over to Van Winkle, and she passes it over to Maddie Zwetzig, who then takes the ball down the field, and she's heading towards the goal. She passes it over to Alyssa Smith before it goes out of control and over to Shanley players for another steal. Shanley back down the field. Emily Larson trying to get a steal, and Shanley will get it down the field, but not before Amber Pyle will pick it up in the goalie area. And strong kick down the field. Shanley does take possession, though. Rachel Knutson tries to get a steal. She does get it. And then Shanley does take back possession. Jordan Sunram trying to kick it for a strong kick. Chloe Fowl will kick it all the way for a strong kick. And Alyssa Smith will take possession. She'll pass it over to Hayden Crockett, who passes it over to Emily Larson with a strong kick down the field towards Maddie Zwetzig, who tries to break three Shanley defenders and instead is tripped up. Jordan Sunram will be kicking it for West Fargo for an attempt. And she passes it over to Hayden Crockett, who then is passed to Rachel Knutson, Emily Larson, where it's stolen by Shanley. Shanley back down the field. Rachel Knutson trying to get a steal, passes it over, and Shanley really trying to set up its offense and try and get something here. They're trying to get around every way possible, and almost a goal there as it's kicks from Shanley, and it goes straight above and over and hits the top crossbar. And it would have been a very, very strong goal. Coming out for the game is Hayden Crockett, and coming in is Abby Smith, number 14. West Fargo with the kick in. Amber Pyle over to Taylor Van Winkle. And Shanley does end up getting a steal. But West Fargo will try and block it. Maddie Zwetzig tries to get a steal there. Shanley ends up taking again possession. They'll head back the other way. Shanley passes it over, and they'll take a strong kick. Rachel Knutson blocks it and heads back the other way, passes it over to Riley Simon before she passes it to Alyssa Smith, and it's stolen again. Shanley really trying to get something going here towards the end of this game. Strong kick down the field. Emily Larson hits it and moves it out of the way. Riley Simon is trying to grab it. Shanley does get a steal, though. And Shanley will take an attempt to try and get it downfield, to try and get closer to the goal, and instead it will just go out of bounds. West Fargo will kick it in. Chloe Fowl passes it over to Alyssa Smith, and instead it'll go out of bounds on West Fargo. Shanley will toss it in. Again, Chloe Fowl with another steal as it comes in for a throw-in from Shanley, and back the other way. Chloe Fowl tries to hit it back the other way. Jordan Sunram picks it off from Shanley as they were close to scoring a goal, and she'll kick it out of bounds just to be safe there. And now it'll be a change-up, and Shanley will take a corner kick here. Strong kick towards the goal, and it curves just enough to where it could have gone in, but instead it's picked up by Amber Pyle. She kicks it back down the field towards Maddie Zetzwig. Zetzwig tries to get around Shanley defenders. She'll pass it over to Taylor Van Winkle. Van Winkle tries to get around and pass it back to Zetzwig, but instead it'll go out of bounds on Shanley after it hits off the defender's foot. West Fargo will throw it back in over to Zwetzig. Zwetzig tries to get around. She does get around the defender. She passes it over to Simon before it's knocked away, and it's Shanley's ball. They're going back the other way. Alyssa Smith with a steal. She kicks it back down the field. Stolen by Shanley. Alyssa Smith again gets another steal back the other way, and it'll go out of bounds on Alyssa Smith for West Fargo. Throw in for Shanley. And that will now be another change of possession here. And it'll be Shanley's ball. Shanley with a strong kick down the field. Jordan Sunram hits it back the other way before it's blocked again after she tries to kick it again by another defender from Shanley. Emily Larson with a strong kick down to Abby Smith. Abby Smith gets around the defender. The defender then changes it back the other way. Chloe Fowl back over to Emily Larson. Emily Larson tries to pass it over to Alyssa Smith before it's stolen. And Shanley trying to do something here. They pass it. They don't pass it. They actually go straight for the goal. And it's picked up by Amber Pyle before Shanley could get there and have another shot on the goal. And then another change here, and Shanley will have possession. Strong kick towards the goal again, almost there, but no dice. And it'll go back the other way. Alyssa Smith with possession. She'll get around the Shanley defender. She kicks it down the field towards Abby Smith. Abby Smith does actually gain possession after Shanley almost took it back. Back the other way, though, as it goes out of bounds on Abby Smith, so it'll be Shanley ball. And then we'll get a change of possession as West Fargo gets another steal. Mariley Simon trying now after getting a pass to try and pass it around. Abby Smith gets around the Shanley defender. She's going down the sidelines. Strong kick down the field, and Chloe Fowl will grab it, and it'll go back the other way. Strong kick from Shanley. West Fargo will have possession. Rachel Knutson passes over to Emily Larson. Larson passes over to Zwetzig, and Zwetzig tries to get around the defender. It's blocked and back the other way. Shanley ball. Shanley kicks it over, passes, and they're going to try and see if they can set up their offense here. Strong kick down the field towards the goal, hoping to be somewhere in the middle, but instead it's way off to the side, and it'll go out of bounds. So it'll be West Fargo ball. And coming out of the game, Maddie Zwetzig, and Hayden Crockett comes in, and coming out of the game also is Mariley Simon, and Alina Batari comes in. West Fargo tries to get a steal off that. Instead, it'll just go out of bounds. Shanley now making a substitution. Shanley will be throwing it in. It's their possession. And West Fargo almost gets steal, but then it goes back the other way. Shanley trying to pass it around. Strong pass. Instead, it's stolen by West Fargo. And then it'll go out of bounds after another attempt at a shot on the goal, but instead it's just a little bit off and it'll go out of bounds. West Fargo ball. West Fargo trying to pass it around. Alyssa Smith gets around the Shanley defender, back the other way. And strong kick. As Hayden Crockett gains control of the ball, and she'll try and kick it towards the goal, but instead it'll go out of bounds, so it'll be Shanley ball with chance. And West Fargo does steal it back. Hayden Crockett down the field, down the sideline at the corner. She passes it over. And Rachel Knudsen with a strong kick over to Emily Larson. And it's stolen by Shanley. Taylor Van Winkle trying to get another steal back and get the ball back for West Fargo. Shanley does take it back again. And then they'll kick it down the field. Emily Larson with the steal before it goes out of bounds. So it'll be Shanley ball right around midfield for a throw-in. And Shanley with a break open opportunity here. And another save by Amber Pyle. So instead of a goal to take a 2-1 lead, Amber Pyle with a save. And West Fargo will stay 1-1. And it goes out of bounds again on West Fargo, so it'll be Shanley ball for another throw-in. Chloe Fowl passes over to Rachel Knudsen, but it's broken up by Shanley defenders. And Shanley again trying to do something, set something up. Abby Smith now trying to get somewhere. Alyssa Smith with a strong kick down the field, and Shanley back the other way as it heads towards the goal. Amber Pyle will pick it up as it's coming towards the goal. Rachel Knudsen over to Alyssa Smith, broken up by Shanley defenders. Rachel Knudsen with another steal now, and Shanley will again take another steal back, and Abby Smith will try and grab it. And she does get a steal, but then Shanley will pick it right back up. And now it will be West Fargo ball. Jordan Sunram will be kicking it for the Packers. And it'll go straight over to Hayden Crockett. Crockett trying to get around two defenders for Shanley, and Shanley ends up getting a steal and kicking it out of bounds by their sidelines. It'll be West Fargo ball. Chloe Fowl will be throwing it in again for West Fargo. Coming out of the game now for West Fargo is Abby Smith and Alyssa Smith. Coming into the game, Maddie Zwetzig and Mariley Simon.
Back in for West Fargo, Maddie Zwetzig and Mariley Simon.
Chloe Fowl throws it in, and it'll be kicked out again by Shanley defenders. So it'll be West Fargo ball again for another toss-in. Chloe Fowl throws it in again to Lena Batari before it's stolen by Shanley defenders back down the field. Rachel Knudsen trying to get a steal, and she ends up gaining the ball back, passes over to Sunram. Sunram goes back the other way, and she tries to pass it, and Mariley Simon gets a steal off of Shanley after they just got one. She passes over to, and Shanley gets another steal back the other way, so Mariley Simon trying to get another steal, but Shanley passes it down the field. Emily Larson picks it off, and Shanley then grabs it up again. Riley Simon grabs the ball straight back from Shanley before passing it over to Chloe Fowl before she kicks it down the field towards Hayden Crockett, and it's picked up by Shanley. Hayden Crockett again takes the ball back again, and that'll be a trip, and it'll be West Fargo to kick it from right about around center field. Chloe Fowl with a strong kick down the field towards Maddie Zwetzig. Zwetzig trying to get around two defenders. Emily Larson grabs it after Shanley kicks it down, and over to Hayden Crockett before it is broken up by Shanley. Shanley with another attempt at a pass broken up by Hayden Crockett, and it goes out of bounds. It'll actually be West Fargo ball now. West Fargo will throw it in, and a trip there, but no call or anything like that, as Hayden Crockett falls to the ground, and so do two other Shanley defenders. But now, here we go for a corner kick. West Fargo with the kick, and almost a goal, just a little bit short, as Shanley's goalie is right there. Strong kick down the field for Shanley, and it looks like West Fargo will take the ball, but Shanley still fighting very hard to get it. Hannah Shern trying to get it out of bounds to make sure that Shanley can't score, and a trip. And now it'll be Shanley for a corner kick. Taylor Van Winkle grabs the ball and over to Hayden Crockett before stolen by Shanley. Shanley trying to get around. Emily Larson with a big steal back down the field. She's heading down that way. And she tries to pass over, to Maddie Zetzwig, but instead it's blocked by Shanley defenders, and it'll go out of bounds. But it's West Fargo's ball kind of right around midfield on their side of the field, going for another goal. Hannah Shern will be tossing it in for West Fargo over to Taylor Van Winkle. And a change of possession, Shanley will be throwing it in now. And it's hit out of bounds by Hannah Shern, so it'll go back the other way. It'll be Shanley ball for a toss in. Riley Simon gets a steal, tries to pass it down the field towards Hayden Crockett. Instead, it's blocked off the knee of a Shanley defender, and it'll go back the other way. So it's West Fargo ball. And again, another change of possession here as it's hit out on the throw-in. So Shanley ball as they throw it in now. And Taylor Van Winkle will hit it. Emily Larson gets it and moves it the other way. Riley Simon trying to get a steal off of Shanley. Shanley trying to pass it around, get somewhere, and it'll go back the other way as Chloe Fowl hits it. And Shanley gets around West Fargo's defenders, and they get a strong pass to the middle of the field. Emily Larson with a steal, and it's back the other way before Shanley steals it yet again. And back the other way, West Fargo with possession as Maddie Zwetzig gets around a Shanley defender, gets around another one, and heads back around the field. And it's going to be Maddie Zwetzig still with the ball. Over to Lena Batari. Batari passes back over Hayden Crockett. And Shanley will go back the other way before Jordan Sunram hits it back for West Fargo, trying to get it back to where they were. Chloe Fowl over to Alina Batari. Batari over, and it's broken up by Shanley. And Taylor Van Winkle hits it back. Before Shanley does gain possession, they'll head back the other way. They're heading towards the goal. And Chloe foul will get a steal before it goes out of bounds right in front of Shanley's benches. They'll toss it in. West Fargo trying to get another steal here to move back the other way. And almost a mess up there by Amber Pyle, but instead she gets just enough time to fix her mistake, and the save by her, so no goals, so the score will continue at 1-1. And the pass in towards Emily Larson. Larson over to Van Winkle. Van Winkle gets it stolen by Shanley defenders, and Shanley will try and take a pass to the middle of the field before eventually trying to take a shot at the goal, and it hits the top upright of the goalpost. And coming in for the game now is Alyssa Smith, number 6, and coming out is Riley Simon. Also coming out is Alina Batari, and coming in number 14, Abby Smith. Amber Pyle kicks it in again for West Fargo. Shanley regains control before almost losing possession, but then they still hold on to it. Pass over, and they pass it again. Emily Larson breaks up the pass, and it goes back the other way. Shanley looking for some sort of opening to try and get through West Fargo's defense. West Fargo trying to see if they can get around Shanley's defense at the same time. Rachel Knudsen gets a steal, passes it over to Hayden Crockett. Crockett tries to get around Shanley defenders, but instead she'll have to pass it over to Abby Smith. Abby Smith passes it back to her. She does get around one defender. She doesn't get around the other one, and then Shanley will eventually kick it here out of bounds. So it's West Fargo ball. Chloe Fowl will be throwing it in by Shanley benches. And then Abby Smith takes possession over to Maddie Zwetzig. Zwetzig passes over to Hayden Crockett before an eventual trip, and now West Fargo will get a shot to try and score a goal here from where the call was.
Reminder, the score is 1-1 tie right now.
Strong kick by Jordan Sunram, and it's blocked by Shanley defenders before it goes the other way. But Alyssa Smith and Chloe Fowler are there to pick it up. Maddie Zwetzig trying to go for the goal and is pushed over, but no call there. And it goes straight out of bounds, so it will be West Fargo ball. Taylor Van Winkle will be throwing it in for the Packers, and Shanley will take possession before eventually it will go out again on Shanley, so it's West Fargo ball. Taylor Van Winkle again throwing it in. Tries to pass it over to Zwetzig, but instead it's blocked by Shanley defenders. Zwetzig then gets it back again from Van Winkle after she gives her a pass from coming in from the sidelines. And another change of possession as Shanley will be throwing it in now. And play will continue. Shanley will throw it in before eventually it will go out of bounds again, and it'll be Shanley possession as they toss it back in. Hannah Shern tries to get a change of possession again for West Fargo, but instead it'll go out yet again, so Shanley will be throwing it in, and backwards pass trying to get over to her teammate, but Hannah Shern breaks it up. Alyssa Smith trying to get a steal, and Jordan Sunram will make a block. Hayden Crockett trying to go for the ball, trying to get a steal here for West Fargo. Alyssa Smith with a strong kick down the field over to Maddie Zetzig, but instead it's broken up by Shanley defenders. Abby Smith tries to make a pass over, stolen by Shanley. Shanley trying to score another goal here as they're over by the side, and a call for a trip here, just right outside of the penalty area, pretty much. Just a little bit outside. And Shanley will have a shot now to try and score another goal from where they are. And no good, as it's far to the side. So the score will stay at 1-1. And now a substitution again for the Packers. Rachel Knudsen comes out and Riley Simon comes in. Amber Pyle kicks it in for West Fargo, taken by Shanley. Alyssa Smith with another steal back the other way. And it will be West Fargo ball now for possession. And a strong kick, and Shanley will take possession. Back the other way, Shanley trying to head for another goal to get around West Fargo defenders. Back for a pass and tries to pass it again. Alyssa Smith trying to break it up, and instead it'll be going the other way. Chloe Fowl with the pass back. Shanley does gain possession again, though. And that is it. And so that will be the game now. So that was West Fargo versus Shanley Deacons. Final score is 1-1. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to the Packer Television and Packer Media broadcasts. And make sure to come out and see these games in the future.